What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another educational video. Today we're going to be watching a Challenger Syndra on the US ladder. I believe this player is rank 38. In terms of the matchup, it is versus Akali, which is something I know a lot of Syndra players struggle with. D-Shield start for Akali, D-Ring for Syndra, and you can see the runes here in the bottom left. First Strike, Magical Footwear, Futures Market, Cosmic Insight, with Manaflow Band being the standout rune here. Not something you typically see just because Manaflow Band isn't exactly necessary on Syndra with her mana passive and her direct build path. We'll see how that works out for her this game. Jungle matchup is Sejuani versus Vi, both high-value ults. Going to be ganking mid lane pretty often after 6. So it's something that we kind of have to play around, especially with Syndra. And so far, in terms of laning, you don't really want to pump too much damage into the Akali early, and that's just because there's so much value that she gets from D-Shield. So the main thing you're going to be trading around as Syndra is your Splinters and your First Strike passive. It's not really the biggest thing to get a lot of value in the damage itself, but more or less the utility that you get from landing your spells. Now, obviously, you should take advantage of any moments to get free damage. It's just that it's not going to be as effective if you're just sapping all of your resources. And some pretty aggressive QEs here, and it's not like it's difficult for her to get punished here. When you're playing versus Akali, you kind of just have to respect the Q range. You can't really walk in the Shroud. And of course, if you have no stun available, she's able to get as close to you as she wants. So it just becomes kind of a positioning thing here. But with the jungles exchanging sides of the map, this is now a situation where it's fine for Akali to push into Syndra because it's not like she needs to move anyways. And this is actually going to give us a possible counter gank angle or even a gank itself. Should be interesting to see either way, but for Syndra here, realistically, all you really need to do in this particular matchup is hit level 7 and have access to your Q upgrade, really. You can definitely kill Akali on 6, but it's so incredibly easy to play this matchup once you have access to double Q balls, because that gives you the ability to use your stun at max range, and it gives you a lot more variety in your combos. So for now, we are just basically focused on CSing. We want to deny Akali CS if possible, but play for the Splinters like she is doing, and that is considered a win in this particular matchup so far. But Akali doing pretty good in terms of farming. To be fair, it's not like she's going to be stopped. She looks like she's running fleet footwork and second win maybe, so any damage we do is just a waste of our resources. Akali is looking for a free roam in the bot side. Really, the only option that Syndra has here is to hard shove in mid lane to pull her back, or at least deny her some form of CS. Looks like she will be doing exactly that. And Akali is fortunately going to be able to grab this whole wave for herself, but we might even see a level 5 reset here for Syndra just because a lot of players will reset on 5. This is because when you hit level 6, you'll already have your item spike, and that would let you chain together your advantage to potentially get a solo kill in lane, especially because you're playing into your level 6, your level 7 spike. If you reset after you hit level 6, it's not as high tempo, so wouldn't be surprised if we saw teleport coming in from Syndra to get back to lane. She does have enough money with Futures Market to buy a Lost Chapter, and that would also prevent Akali from resetting and spending her own money. So instant TP here, delayed tempo on that first cancel. What she could do here is she has two options. Option 1 is she can run up and grab the wave and force Akali to TP back. Or option 2 is she can just clear this and reset in the middle. The better option here obviously is to hold the wave and freeze it. And this actually causes Akali to stay here, which is fantastic for Pom Pom, because she's now actually able to convert this position into a free opportunity, which we do end up missing, so it's all good anyways. Akali's going to get a reset now, and this is kind of like the make or break moment for a lot of Syndra versus Akali matchups, and that is, what does Akali purchase on her first reset? If the answer is Null Mantle, you lose. If the answer is anything but Null Mantle, you automatically win. So I am desperately hoping for Pom Pom's sake that this is in fact not a Null Mantle purchase. We'll see what it comes up to, but if it is Merc Treads, it's going to be a very, very difficult moment. And actually, it's going to be Boots, Dark Seal, and Amp Tome, which is a huge advantage for Pom Pom, because now Pom Pom can convert this lane into a kill. Like, that is the biggest thing. If you're playing versus Null Mantle Akali, you will not be able to convert this into a kill because you're just going to get stat checked every single time. Nice cancel. Still has to force the flash, but had she not canceled it, she probably would have been stunned out by the Pikey, which would have been an absolute tragedy. But with both sums down, friendly Pom Pom is in a pretty dangerous position here. Wave is stabilized outside of tower. This makes it very easy for Syndra players to commit to using their stun because there is no downside to this position. which is why you typically want to let the enemy push into you, just because you can look or seek for damage without being at risk of getting ran down. There's a very big difference between using your stun in this quadrant of the lane and using your stun over here and missing. But with both players having no ultimate, or rather Akali not having ultimate, I don't think Pom needs to be concerned too much with being one-shot here. It's more or less just playing around jungle posture and just looking for first strike or splinters here. So does get the splinter here, which is fantastic, along with some first strike money. In terms of FS, we have already generated 72 gold, actually 95, which is pretty good. Akali has been able to shove this lane in, looking for a bot side dive. No TP available for Syndra, so this probably is going to look like a 3k. Great execution coming in from blue side here as they're committing to the Vi under tower. Syndra going the long way here, is half HP. But if we push them back under tower, oh, that is an absolute tragedy. The ultimate, not quite enough, and Pom is going to go down here. A truly tragic situation as Pom spam pings the Vi, which is absolutely insane. Looks like Pom is not happy so far. Syndra on the reset back in the mid lane has picked up the Blasting Wand. It looks like this is going to be a Luden's game for Pom. In this particular situation, you are playing against 1 bruiser, 2 bruiser, 3 bruiser. It is completely acceptable to go Liandry's if you want to this game. Now, Pom is mostly single AP. Nautilus is like a second off-brand AP champion. So it's not like they're going to itemize too much magic resist against Pom, so getting the Ludens will give them a lot of one-shot potential against the Pyke, the Draven, and if that is what they're intending on doing, totally fine. But if you only have access to these frontline targets, then Liandry's will still give you enough damage to one-shot their backline if you're playing well, but it'll give you a lot more DPS in the long run. So I'll be curious to see how that affects this particular game, but if Pom is able to get the train rolling, there is a very high chance that this build will snowball out of control with that extra flat penetration from the Mythic passive. And the 10% move speed from the active is actually kind of nice for repositioning as well. But normally, people like to do the Nemesis build, I believe, in the US, which is just overloading on utility haste. But Vi actually getting 1v1 in the right side here. Looks like Vi going to go down again. And I believe that is another 3 pings from Pom. Actually, it was the enemy team flaming the Vi, so it's all good. But back in the mid lane here, looks like Pom is going to be rotating here to cut out the Sejuani. Good stun to engage here. Unfortunately, completely out of this fight, waiting at max range. And just kind of sitting here waiting for the Qs to recharge. Very slow pacing on this. There's a lot of space between them and the enemy tower, so playing the tempo like this is technically fine. And unfortunately, due to the missed stun from Pom, that is going to result in the death of Yone here. And honestly, I'm surprised that Pom is throwing out so many I can't even say the word, dude. It's surprising that Pom is throwing out so many spam pings onto their teammates, but it looks like Pom has a very serious way that they want to play this game, and it's not going the way they want it to. But so far, 11-2. They do have pretty good scaling potential, like Draven Pyke do fall off a cliff if you're able to play it, but pretty good pickup here from Pom. Shutdown is going to give them a lot of money to work with, and denying a wave as well, plus 1 point. That was essentially a 1,000 gold swing for Pom, which is exactly what you need in this position to recover at least one of your win conditions. Go ahead and pull open the chart here, and that is 3.7 versus 3.9. Pom is officially in the lead here with an 11 CS lead as well. But top lane getting crashed, bot lane getting crashed, and jungle getting absolutely double-deckered. So, Luden's Tempest has been completed here. No boots available and no Dark Seal. This is partially because we are running Magical Footwear this game. Against melees, Magical Footwear does make it to reposition, especially if you are using Flash in the early game against ganks. That's honestly why I tend to not run Magical Footwear as much anymore, just because if I'm in a volatile matchup, I value the MS so much. Especially for repositioning. But right now, we do have vision of Sejuani the bot side, which means that Pom can look for an aggressive trade here if she would like to. Looks like Akali has basically gone AFK in the middle lane, takes some free damage here. And another kill going over to the blue team. And once the Shroud looks to run out, I believe Pom is going to look for maybe an extended combo here. But Swork Boots coming from Akali, this is such an ego move against Syndra. And I imagine it will play out pretty nicely for Pom. But, like, imagine building Null Mantle into this Ludens. It would just basically fuck over Pom build. But good sidestep. Unfortunately, used the flash there to dodge the E. But that sidestep definitely saved Pom from a pretty tragic death. So good utilization of Foggedftw in the bush. And at this point, Wave is kind of slow pushing towards Pom, so just kind of waiting in the backside here. No flash available, so you do have to play it this way, unfortunately. And another... Oh my god, look at the moves here on Pom. And actually getting hooked to safety, allowing Vi to pick up maybe a kill here. And an unfortunate miss here from Akali, which is going to allow the Vi to land a Vault Breaker directly onto her. And that's going to be a double kill for the red side. Pom just spinning in circles in place, causing the enemy to lose focus here. But let us not distract from the fact that Pom has basically used QE twice at melee range and essentially missed, which is not something that you would like to see in this particular scenario. But the result is a positive, although the process was not quite there. One more play being picked up for Pom, and the gold is currently 1.4k on her, which is enough to buy Sork Boots and a Dark Seal. And it looks like the Rift Herald is going to go through here. Another 2 plates on the Pom, now at a 1,000 gold lead, almost about 900 gold, and Pom going to be resetting here for some itemization. And things seem to be picking up here. We were technically, what was it, 11-2, and now we're 13-6. TP coming back, we now have access to a Null Mantle. And I would not be surprised if this was built into a Banshees against a Sejuani. Something that you see pretty often in solo queue and high elo for Korea and EU West is building Banshees second against stuff like Ashe Sejuani. Just because that is the main form of engage that you have to play around, and you can't do it if you don't have the ability to reposition. This, like Syndra here is kind of vulnerable to that. And once again, shoving the lane here, forcing the Akali to show back up in mid lane, and then immediately walking away here. This is going to deny blue team the opportunity to punish, but of course, if Akali wanted to, she could hold the wave and force Syndra to move forward. But that is a pretty far away wave. And Pom initiating a roam here. There is quite a bit of time before these waves crash, so can place a ward, can go look for a roam opportunity. Anything's fine here. Just kind of waiting at Fog of War. And this is looking almost identical, but the longer this game goes on, the more value we're going to get on this Syndra, just because she is such a strong scaling pick. And against a lot of short-range champions like the enemy team, she's got a lot of room to work with if they're able to move forward at all in these fights. So again, Pom initiating here a roam timer. Looks like clearing out mid lane, then immediately running top, and should be able to find the stun here. Nice. And an immediate follow-up with the ult here from Yone. Really nice. But Akali, good positioning here, looking for the engage. Is able to find the R1, should be able to find the E1 shuriken flip here, but playing it extremely slowly. Oh my god, not even using her spells here, just waiting forever. And the QE actually interrupts the combo, but Akali has flash, and is able to convert that into a kill. So very greedy positioning from Pom on the way routing back to lane. Definitely could have gone the long way, but Akali just has the patience of a queen there, waiting on every single one of those spells, just being like, I can't use my E yet, I can't use my E yet. And with plates falling, that is still going to be a huge 4 plates advantage for Syndra. And we are actually seeing the Verdant Barrier completed for the Syndra, which is going to give her a bunch of extra survivability. Because normally here, if there was no Null Mantle, it would just be immediate R1, E1 into an E2, R2 for an insta-gib onto Syndra. But looks like Vi is going to find herself in a 1 versus 2 situation here. Looks like the Pyke once again failing to meet expectations. And we're going to go ahead and gravitate back towards mid lane here, where we are currently at 73 stacks, which means we have acquired our Q and W upgrades, about 7 away from the E upgrade. And once again, defaulting to shoving this lane. Bot side tower has been taken, which means that the bot lane is going to rotate into mid. The reason why this is because by having the bot lane here, you're able to impact the Rift Herald, you're able to impact the Dragon, and your support can start putting wards around the middle of the map, which gives you more control, in case you are not familiar with why bot lane shifts to mid. Now, the red side has multiple ways that they can deal with this. One is they can also send their bot lane to mid, or they can keep Syndra here so she's able to influence the entire map. Kind of depends on whether they have access to decent amounts of wave clear, because they could just keep the Syndra here and wave clear infinitely. But using WQ in front of the Pyke, actually not even having the Q for the stun, but believing in the E value. And looks like we are going to see Syndra shoved towards the bot side here. She's spam pinging on the way. Looks like she wants the Xayah to match the Akali here. And I don't necessarily disagree with this, just because Syndra has such power and the pick potential with the Vi. Now, technically, they could play through side lane and do the exact same thing, but mid lane has the ability to generate more pick, and Syndra with ultimate at level 11 is doing a significant amount of damage. Whether Xayah is able to survive 1 versus 1 against Akali is entirely different. She does have access to her ultimate to disengage. But it looks like we're looking for a collapse here onto the Akali. She can just R1 through the Nautilus and find space. But a good shuriken flip would be hilarious if she E2'd back into that. And she is doing it! Ladies and gentlemen, Exhaust has gone through. Looks like Akali Strat is going to go through, but unfortunately the Nautilus hook is not going to find its way onto the Akali. And a mid-wave dive here potentially, but Vi being caught out on the side here. Zianni looking for combat Vault Breaker to get some distance. But back to the mid lane. This is a great opportunity to one-shot the Draven if we find the stun. Playing it slow, not actually able to follow up on it, but that would have been the opportunity that you're looking for. Trinity Force is giving a significant amount of health, so I doubt it would have been able to kill without 100 stacks. But it would have been a cool opportunity if this was anything but a Verdant Barrier. So again, just clearing out mid-waves. And looking for a stun here at the max range. Pyke engaging the backside, unable to find the hook once again. And Vault Breaker coming in for the side. Nice engage onto the backline. Zianni ultimate is not going to connect, but it looks like some damage is going to go through and kill the Vi here as they exchange their Draven. Nice stun hitting 4 targets here in the backside. Xayah picking up some CS, but it looks like they are going to pivot into a Riftchild here. And Syndra is just going to continue to pick up some farm in the mid lane, which is nice for her. Again, we're just working towards those splinters. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, guys, because at the end of the day, like, your goal on Syndra is... Number 1, hit Lost Chapter Spike. Number 2, get access to Q upgrade. Number 3, complete Mythic. And number 4, complete 2 items. So those are pretty significant spikes for Syndra. She just hit 2nd item, and she is just about to hit 100 Splinter Spike as well. So her damage potential is really, really high right now. And in terms of the 3rd item, this is probably going to end up being a Void Staff or something like a Rabadon's. Unfortunately, when you go Banshees or Zanya 2nd, you're just losing out on all the penetration. But Syndra has a very good get around that because she has the true damage from a W and the true damage from the execute on ult, which is why I think Syndra is such a strong champion against tanks in general, along with the Leandri's build. But let's go and take a look at First Strike. We've currently generated 423 gold, which is the equivalent of 1.5 kills almost. And honestly, this game is going to come down probably to a 3rd dragon. Again, Pyke engaging, burning the Banshees. Gets hit by the long-range stun here, just looking for the Splinter, and we're about 8 away from this massive upgrade on the ultimate. Go ahead and engage the objective timers. Looks like Dragon is available in 3 minutes, which is something we're going to be desperately waiting for. But honestly, Pom has basically been clearing out waves this game and then retreating to the safety of tower, trying to deny the possibility of an engage. I would have liked to see blue team take advantage of the no flash Syndra, but he kind of just commits to crashing the wave and then gets the fuck out of there, so it's kind of hard to do that in general. But again, looking for a stun opportunity here. Honestly, Syndra is capable of absolutely one-shotting Pyke if she finds the ultimate off a 5-ball combo. 4-ball combo, rather. Just depends. But engage looking to happen over here. Vault Breaker is committed. Nautilus Hook is going to find its way, but unfortunately is going to be able to find the Phantom Undertow over the wall. And they are shoving mid lane here. It isn't absolutely necessary unless they're planning on fighting for Baron control here with the Vision. But it would have been a very good team fight if they're able to stack their CC together. It just looks like they weren't looking for the opportunity. Syndra resetting into the bot side here to clear and match against this Akali, level 13 versus level 13. Which is surprising because I thought that sharing XP 3 ways mid would have been detrimental in that capacity. But again, Syndra is able to commit to this long-range stun here because, again, she's under her tower. It's not really a loss. And very good disengage here, preventing Akali from popping the Banshees as well. I think we are looking for maybe a TP possibility from Syndra, is why she backed up to get some information before focusing back onto the wave. But Akali being chunked at the half does mean she has the ability to one-shot her if she doesn't have stopwatch, which she doesn't. But immediately clearing out bot side, then shifting towards mid is a very common strategy where you just basically stand behind your teammates and wait for action to break out. And Akali's still bot side, so this is effectively a 4 versus 2. Nice execution here. Very good kill coming in from Pom. And currently sitting on 1.5k gold, so does have the ability to purchase a Blighting Jewel or maybe even a needlessly large rod. But the gold is getting ever so closer, and blue team is failing to put their early lead to an advantage here. Looking for these splinters here, but 105 has been acquired, which means the ultimate is at its peak potential. Clearing out minions. Dragon in 55 seconds, again, is going to be one of those major things that the blue team wants to play around in terms of vision. Really, the only way that red side has the way to play around this is finding a pick before this dragon, playing through mid to threaten Baron or objectives like the tower, or they could just exchange it entirely and play for 4th dragon. But it is kind of a risk because Dragon Soul has a 92% win rate. Again, an engage coming in from Pyke, if there was a Q available, would have been actually a kill most likely, as there is no magic resist on this Pyke. 1 in 7 currently, but engaging in the melee range, canceling the Nautilus. That was such a fucking... Okay, 3 versus 4 happening here. Blowing up Trailblazer in the back line. Looks like the Banshees is going to be popped, but Syndra finding the one-shot onto Pyke. And this is the thing you gotta love about Pyke, is if they don't absolutely fuck you over in lane phase, they will start to run it down the mid to late game. And Sejuani ult is going to be committed here as Akali going into the backline here with Riven Slash going through, but the CC stack is going absolutely wild on the red side. Stun is available for Syndra, and Flash could see a Flash QE here onto the backline, but she is going to distance herself away here and maybe play for the dragon. They just need to reacquire control on the mid side, but she is going to opt for a reset here because, again, she's been sitting on so much fucking money that it's almost illegal. But if she wants to get an immediate power spike, that is going to be a double needlessly large reset. And there's no magic resist being built on the enemy team, so this is going to be a huge power spike with very minimal repercussions, which is pretty nice. But immediately resetting the mid side, looking to get some control here. Dragon has been acquired by blue, and that is now the threat of a soul in about 5 minutes. But Pyke, once again, walking in the mid lane here, has Boots of Swiftness, which is accelerating their ability to run it down into an enemy team. But clearing out the vision here does find vision onto Pyke. Anytime Pyke charges Q in front of you, you basically have a guaranteed stun opportunity. So, would love to see Syndra look for more one-shot potential in that capacity. But 4 stacking again, looking for the max range hook. Unfortunately, not going to connect. But Akali is getting some free CS in the side lane. Somebody is going to have to inevitably match this. And Syndra does have TP, so it's not too bad of her to match this because she has the ability to reposition if necessary. But a pick onto Yone is pretty huge because this does allow them to threaten the Baron. Because it would force Syndra to TP back to the top side of the map. And that would be a huge loss for Pom Pom because it's just a waste of their resources. But blue side is starting this Baron with that pick. Looks like there's absolutely zero vision here for red side besides this individual ping. And this is going to be 1 versus 1 in the side here. Able to cancel the Shuriken Flip with a nice QE. Looking for some max range damage here. Pom Pom is going to find the ultimate into the backline. Unfortunately, about 10% damage off, but a great save here coming in from the red team. If there was one more Q, I believe the ultimate would have executed, so this came down to not finding enough damage. But with 4 players committed on the other side of the map, you gotta wonder why Kali's looking for a 1 versus 1 opportunity. Because they're just guaranteed to get the Baron if she does nothing. But that is going to give Syndra the ability to purchase Rabadons, which is, again, a huge spike, 40% AP. 1 versus 3 in the side here as Yone gets CC stacked into the ground and eliminated. And Syndra is on her way to the top side. If she is able to find a stun at this point, it is a lot of damage being threatened. For reference, if you're running Luden's, Shadowflame, and Zanya's, you have like a 2.9k damage ultimate at level 13. So with this build, I imagine she is threatening almost 3k damage on squishy targets with 50 MR. So she can effectively do that against any of these other champions besides Sejuani, if she can find a 5-ball combo. But 600 on Q, 600 on W, plus 120, so about 700 on the W, 400 damage on the E. Massive 1.5k damage capabilities on Unleash Power, not including the Execute. But looking for the Riven in the side lane here, matching the Yone against Akali. Looks like she is going to reveal her location, using the W for vision in the bush. And Vaultbreaker is going to connect into the QR. And Shutdown going over to their ADC, which is a huge pick for them. But blue side is not going to allow this to go uncontested, as they're going to trade a mid tower, as well as potentially threaten spot side tower. They do manage to kill Yone once again. But that was basically a 450 gold shutdown in exchange for 2 towers. Normally, if they were unable to defend that tower, maybe it would have been worthwhile anyways, but Yone definitely does not have to die in the side lane here during that time frame. I don't imagine he's worth very much, but it is still never a good thing to just give over a kills. Especially when the enemy target has Dark Seal. But we are about to hit level 16 on Syndra, and this is a very massive power spike that we're currently sitting on, so the next team fight is going to be something very interesting to watch, provided she does not get CC stacked out by the Sejuani and the Akali R1 into the backline. But again, they still have a lot of pick potential. They have the tools to work with. They have Nautilus, they have Vi. If they're able to keep finding overloads like this, it will continue to give them a way to get back into the game in terms of finding money or bridging that gap. And in terms of gold, we're currently 2k gold up on the Akali. The main gold leads are on Riven and Sejuani. Draven having a 3k gold lead, so this is mostly because of the fact that we have the Pyke ult coming in, but looks like TP coming in the mid lane. Pyke once again killing himself. Very common for Pyke players after they start running it down. You have 2 of like the most popular champs to run it down with in the mid game, which is Draven and Pyke. So I imagine they're tilted out of this world. But Dragon spawns in 20 seconds again. This is Soul. They don't really want to flip this. If they're able to convert Syndra's positioning into a pick onto the backline, this is going to be huge. Like, we can look for QE at max range here and maybe find enough damage. But not able to find the W or the Q. Engage going on the side lane over here. Ali just engaged in the backline. Wall breakering out, but looks like we're going to find a bunch of damage here on the backline. Again, Syndra late to the party here. But they do trade 1 for 1. Syndra into the backline does find the W onto the Riven, but the damage is just not quite there. Especially with Death Dance delaying a lot of damage. Now, the good news is with Sejuani dead, this is a guaranteed dragon, as they have smite advantage. Looks like Vi is Syndra looking for a free stun here. Fucks up the QE onto the engage here, but we are going to find a bunch of damage from that second half and just getting that execute with the ultimate. So a bit of an overstay coming in from Draven, but that is a significant power spike for red side as they've managed to claw back that gold lead once again. And we're about to see a pretty big spike here, probably going to find Blighting Jewel. I don't think we're going to sell the Dark Seal. I think it's just the same exact value as Blasting, so it's going to stay, but the Blighting Jewel has been picked up. So back into the mid lane we go. Syndra going to be matching bot side. She doesn't have TP available, so if something does happen near the barrier area, she will not be able to reposition. But as long as we have the 6th player on our team, which is Pyke, perhaps we can convert this into something good. And I'm curious to see what the first strike money is looking like right now. Currently at 898 gold. Last time we checked, it was about 450, so about twice as much. And we're going to go ahead and look for another reset. This is enough for Void Staff Spike. We're essentially full build on Syndra here. No more slots available, but Pyke once again being picked out while looking for Vision. And this is the moment. This is a 4v5 with Baron spawning in about 50 seconds. They can reestablish Vision control and maybe convert that into something nice. But a potential engage, this is exactly what they need to do, is that just convert your 4v5 into a power play. So I'd love to see if they can find a pick opportunity here. Max range stun coming into a Vi, connect into the Q from Nautilus. Ultimate being used before Zanya's, which is a tragic scenario. But blue side is just converting everything. Riven engaging here onto the side. Nautilus goes through, but dying instantaneously. The action is going through. Exchanging the Yone for the Akali. R1 backline for both of them. But Syndra overstaying her welcome here as she's engaged on. Exhaust coming in onto the Riven. Looks like the Vault Breaker is going to go through as Sejuani exchanges position, and W damage from Pom Pom doing a significant amount here. But Pyke has reset, so it's currently a 4 versus 3 situation in favor of blue side. They still do have a gold advantage on a lot of their carries. It's just that the pick potential for red makes it very easy for them to find these kills if they play correctly. And stun here should be massive. Still finds over the wall because of the terrain push. And that's actually going to go ahead and interrupt the entire play. Bless you in the comments, please, if you make it this far. Would love to hear your opinion on Pom Pom's performance so far, especially considering we saw the spam pings onto all their teammates before being able to curve out into some nice itemization here. And we do see Elixir being picked up. That means Pom believes that a major fight's going to happen in the next 5 minutes over the Baron. Currently sitting on 711 AP, which is absolutely massive. No Abyssal Mask on the side of Pom, so no free MR reduction, but if we're able to convert this ward into a free kill on Draven, it would be absolutely sick. Could also find a kill on the Pike here, but Banshee's Edge of Night has been picked up. And that's what you absolutely hate as Syndra, is people having spell shields. So. And we do immediately execute this Pike, which is fantastic. Could see a Flash R, would maybe not kill him because he's got 3,000 HP as an ADC with a Triforce and the Randuin's, but this is a very interesting position because it is 4v5. You have vision control over Baron. If you force them to face check this vision, you can find a free engage, or you can just force the Baron outright. Now, they are not going to match the Akali. Akali does have TP available, so they're basically forced to start this Baron, or just give up the inhibitor tower for free. So engage coming in from Pom, missing the QE to start this play off, but we are going to follow up the buy here. Akali taking a free inhibitor tower. And again, just backing up, playing for this Baron here, and just really terrible macro coming in from red side. This is not how you want to be playing the game at this point. You had 30 seconds to force the Baron angle, but instead we're just giving up an inhibitor for free. Using this vision control as a very messy way of engaging a play. But 1 versus 3 situation here, engaging onto the Riven. CC stack is going to go through, waiting on the CC to run out before pulling the feathers back with Blade Caller. And Syndra is just going to run it back down for mid lane. Hasn't purchased anything because Elixir is pretty much the best thing we can do. Not willing to sell a 55 AP item, which is Darksteel, until we have another Rod. 6 item, I imagine, would be either the Zhonya's or the Hextech Horizon focus. But this is a 1v5 angle right here. Yone is going to be engaging, getting absolutely obliterated here in the backline. But Roulette is going to be CC stacked. R1 coming in from Akali. And the damage is going to go through here as the Zhonya's has been used. Ultimate is going to secure the kill onto Akali, and the WQ is absolutely murdering Pike. Unfortunately, the hook is not going to connect with the Draven, but this is a 4 versus 2 situation. They're able to continue making this play down mid lane. Roulette trying to get away here, but Draven is behind, forcing a reset. And this is, again, a really good dragon pickup for the red side. And they are just going to go and reset and push out these side waves because we need to reestablish Baron control for the next 30 seconds. But they do deny the soul. They do get pretty good game potential here. And actually, a Mejai is picked up by Pom. A very cheeky Baron coming in from the Draven here, along with maybe the Riven and Sejuani. I don't think anyone knows that this is currently happening. No vision on the map, but they should be able to get here in time. There is TP available for Pom. There is really no vision besides this pink ward and mid lane to teleport to, so we'd be surprised to see a TP into the pit. Looks like Pom is going to choose to walk the full way here, which is a very big surprise, before committing to a TP inside the pit. Vi completely shoved out, but they allow Pom to get the TP off, and this is going to be a very cheeky Baron for blue side as they find the kill on Vi. A very, just back-to-back, very poor macro from red side until they managed to just force an engage in their favor. Because blue side is just so committed to finding these weird wonky places to stand, except for in front of the enemy. But 34-minute game so far. 1 inhibitor has been taken. Going to be constantly applying pressure on the side lane here. Syndra really can't get any stronger until she sells this Mejai's or finds full stacks. Should be able to do that in about 4 minutes or so. But blue side is going to convert this Vi kill into a bunch of vision in the jungle, stealing all these camps. They do have Baron buff, which means they have the siege potential. Unfortunately, this Banshees is cucking the Sejuani ult engage over the wall here. Some free gold for Pom. But if we do find a stun, there's really no answer. But Sejuani ult going in, gonna find the Pike, sorry, the Nautilus, and instantly deleting it. So they're still able to convert that 4v5 into another 4v5. Bot inhibitor still applying pressure here, so really they just need to slow down the pace and try to find chip damage onto this tower. But again, how do you do that with such short-range champions? Edge of Night has been blown by the Yone W, which is actually huge if you think about it. But they're now beginning the 4-1, putting Baron onto multiple waves here. Looking for the damage. The stun has been used by Syndra, which means they have free game to walk forward here without being threatened. And they are going to disengage before it comes back up. So Syndra looking for an engage at max range onto the Riven here, but just again, blue side waiting for these waves to shove in. Next huge play would probably be around this soul in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so if they're not able to find anything in the meantime, they just got to continue to wait. Am I doing commentary or am I shoutcasting? I don't even know what's happening anymore, to be honest. Feels like I'm doing 30% shoutcasting and then 70% commentary. I'm losing track of the sauce, my man. But Protobelt has been committed. Max range stun is going to find its way onto the backline, doing a pretty significant amount of damage. Pom-Pom does have 1.5k, does have the ability to buy another elixir 2 minutes out until this dragon. They're just turtled inside their base because really one teamfight is going to decide it. One teamfight is essentially 55 to 60 second death timers, and that's a really, really long time. But Akali has disconnected from the game. If this ends up being a 4v5 DC win, I'm going to be absolutely pissed after investing 35 minutes of my life. What a tragic way to win here. But hopefully they're able to reconnect and give us this 5v5 challenge that we so desperately vie for. Pyke looking for a potential play here, but just need to be very careful. Because if you break the Pyke shield with your Q, your stun will still stun afterwards. And then you can just commit after that. Unfortunately, what we're going to get is that Edge of Night, so for the next 40 seconds, Pyke has to be a little bit more careful. A minute until this Drake spawns, and this is, again, Soul's a huge, huge, huge advantage for blue side, because it just gives them the anti-one-shot protection against this pick potential. And just clearing these waves out, looking to shove up mid lane to start re-establishing control over these side objectives in the middle lane. And they do have the ability to look for and engage here, and that's just physically because of the 4v5 scenario. Interesting, 175 vision control for the Pyke. A lot of wards killed this game. Sejuani looking for the flank here, along with the Pyke, but very risky plays. I think after Pyke has died this many times doing the exact same thing, that maybe they learned to slow down. For Syndra here, it really is just about looking or fishing for these long-range stuns. Because it's either you're playing secondary engage off of your teammates Vi and Nautilus, or you're playing primary engage. Now, the issue of playing primary engage is that you're leading the fight by going for the stun at max range, and that puts you at risk of being engaged on if you're fishing for it. Whereas if you're playing secondary, you have to wait for your teammates to actually do something. God knows they'll never actually look for anything, so I myself prefer to play primary engage in a lot of these situations, but you have to understand that against certain team comps, it's just not realistic. If we didn't go Banshees this game, you'd basically just get engaged on by Sejuani ult over and over. But the Banshees pickup is going to prevent that. Potentially a flip over the wall here, but the Draven is actually going to steal it, and the Soul is going to go over to the blue team. A really tragic scenario here is Vi doesn't even press the smite button. Immediately forced to reset to match mid and top, but looks like Pyke is going for the reset here. Able to stop two of them, and this is now a 1 versus 2 situation on other parts of the map. I will say that even though they have an absolutely trash can support player, blue side has had pretty good macro gameplay outside of that. But using the ultimate as a way to reposition behind the enemy, unfortunately going to go down here anyways. Mid tower is going down. They've basically killed every single inhibitor tower, which is a huge thing, because that just means you can convert this into triple inhibitor if you're lucky. Might not be able to end the game in a situation, but you can definitely triple inhib into a Baron play, which would be so hard to stop. And Syndra does have TP, so pushing the side lane here is totally acceptable, because you're able to pressure a tier 2 for an extra 600 gold. And they don't really have the numbers to match this right now. I think they may have sussed out that the Akali has disconnected. Again, such a tragic way to end this fucking game out. Hopefully she comes back. But reset here, Mejai's is still existing. We've sold... Wait, what? We sold boots. We sold boots for Azanias. Oh my god. Alright, 921 AP for Syndra. She has absolutely no move speed, but she does have flash available. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think maybe the move speed from the Mejai's is good enough for her, is what she's saying here. 363, she's basically getting 33 bonus MS, which is almost the level tier 2 boots from Mejai's from the 10%. So it's about the same. But having both 10% and the move speed from Storks would allow you to look for picks. Red side just needs to find one Vault Breaker, one Sultan Battery, or just one Nautilus Dredge Line, or even one Scatter the Weak. But just using the Nautilus as a meat shield here, looking for an engage here onto Riven, unfortunately not able to find it. And they are going to force the Baron play here. Blue team has two options. They can hard shove, play for 2 inhibitors, or they can contest the 4v5 Baron. I think that the blue side idea of going for these inhibitors is probably better. But Sejuani being engaged on, this is the exact opposite of what you want in this scenario. Roulette just absolutely memeing for no reason here. Again, they could just take the double inhibitor and back out, but canceling the recalls. They're buying so much time here. Blue team is getting 2 inhibitors. This may actually result in the red side losing a bunch of tempo for the next 5 minutes, but my god, what a dangerous decision to make. Red side does acquire the Baron. They've got the siege potential. Sejuani is going to respawn in time to defend. But these 2 inhibitor lanes pushing in means that they now have the ability to just play through topside if they want to. What a monstrosity of a game. And Akali still disconnected. A possible win trade coming in from Pom Pom. Pom Pom taking... Oh shit! The reconnect has come in, ladies and gentlemen. It is now a real game of League of Legends in Mount Soul. And Akali is back, and she's got 5 items. She does have the ability to still one-shot anybody she wants. Edge of Night is going to maintain. Realistically, all blue team has to do is wait out this Baron, prevent themselves from being engaged on, and then they can start playing for this last inhibitor, or even the Elder. Maybe Pom Pom's going to find a massive stun engage that basically changes the game here, but Sejuani smiting to break the Banshees here, but there's no follow-up if he wants to engage. Akali getting absolutely deleted for absolutely no reason. Shroud was not used apparently in this interaction. And they are going to break the base here by taking the inhibitor tower. And they will be able to rotate in the top lane after. But a great engage from Sejuani, but the disengage coming in for the Xayah. The Blade Caller just doing so much work. Again, Blade Caller again, but Riven flashing in the backline, finding a triple knockup. Just doing so much, but there's no follow-up. They just don't have the damage because Draven is completely out of that fight, zoned off. And Engage is going to go through Nautilus, Zanyazing, but the TP coming in from the Syndra is going to go and seal the deal here as Draven is forced to flash away. And that is going to be the conclusion of our game. A very slow start, very awkward start for red side as they're able to finally find enough pick potential to make it to the mid game, to make it to the late game, and close it out despite those macro mistakes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have... Actually, you know what? No. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. If you have any comments about the video, please let me know. Have a good one. Bye-bye.